Hey, how's it going, y'all? I am hopping in here to make a tier list of all of the Marvel Champions campaign expansions, and this is my first tier list ever, so this is fun. But yeah, we're gonna walk through the existing expansions, and hopefully, if you don't own them all, you can this can maybe help pick out ones that you might want based on my recommendations and like my just general enjoyability of it all. Like this is a ranking of like just how much I enjoyed these and how much I would recommend a friend like, hey, go buy this. It's fun. So let's get started. And with we're gonna go chronologically and we're gonna start out hot with the first one, the Rise of Red Skull. And I can't put this anywhere else but calling it the Holy Grail. This like the first expansion they had here was perfect for me. I mean, as far as like all the future expansions, yes, have the fun different mechanics in it, but just when it comes to just straight up playing Marvel Champions, and if I am loving a character and want to just run through a couple scenarios, why not just go through the Rise of Red Skull campaign? Because each scenario tests each hero and deck so well, like all of them combined, all five. So I guess while we're do this, I'll walk through the scenarios for each one as well, just to refresh and see if anything changes in my mind from these. Um, Rise of Red Skull's not going to change in my mind though. So we had Crossbones expansion. I'm just reading from this here. Crossbones, such a great like starting character um, scenario. Absorbing Man, who albeit like is easy, but it's fun. We played the game to win. At least I do. I enjoy the challenges, of course, but you know, getting to go through some Absorbing Man and getting the feel for the game and just like having a fun, like watching your hero destroy someone for the most part with Absorbing Man is fun. Taskmaster introduces just like the flipping mechanic and little things you have to remember and is just a fun scenario. And then we had the Zola. I love Zola. He's so stinking difficult too, which is fun. Like when just getting overrun by minions can really damper a game, but when you claw your way out of that, it's a good time. And then Red Skull, the final, it's perfectly beatable and challengeable, like challenging enough where especially with Zola and Rise of Red, and the Red Skull himself can really get going with the side schemes if you don't bring enough thwarting to the table. It's just I could put this on the table and play any day, all day. Just if, especially as well, if you want to just like cut back to high school or whatever and have just like a friend over and you're just like want to do something all night and you're like having some crazy all nighter. I can't imagine I can do that anymore, but I don't know. Just burning through the Rise of Red Skull would be so much fun because there's not a lot of stuff you have to think about in between. It's just like scenario after scenario. Perfect. So that's my rant on Rise of Red Skull, which I think they just did such a perfect job coming right out of the gate with that. And so now, we jump to Galaxy's Most Wanted, and this was their response to they already had it made, but then there were complaints that the game was too easy, so they just threw a bunch of surges and all kind of annoying stuff in it, and everyone hated it. But um, because of that, so Galaxy's Most Wanted definitely falls into it's conceivable that I could play this again. And actually, like, I want to play it again because I think this expansion was when I got into the game and when I started watching and following content. And everyone's reaction to this just kind of scared me away. Like, Ronan seemed so scary, and he is, but I don't know, the whole deal with it was just like, I don't know. There were a lot of, especially being newer to the game at the time, confusing mechanics to it with the like the Collector 2 or whatever, the Collector 2, right? The difficult one was Collector 1. I don't know. I can't, brain's not processing right now. We can find out. But yeah, this game, I mean, and like the characters that come with it, I really love Rocket and really enjoy Groot, especially my gameplay of like the Groot Shield deck. It's awesome. But I'm taking a look at the scenarios. Brotherhood of Badoon is just quality fun. I enjoy that one. So that like it starts out hot, and then you have the infiltrate the museum. Um, yes, and so like having those like him doing his collection card, keeping your cards and not being able to get through that's difficult. But I think because it was so difficult at first, I haven't really I I don't know if I've played it again honestly. Like I just avoid it because there's so much more to play. But then yeah, Escape the Museum. I think that's the one that's like really enjoy like a really good scenario. I think I've played that one a few times now. Um, but then Nebula has her like quirks and stuff, but that was like this fun introduction to I don't know. There's like obligations, not obligations, her like attachments going off and whatnot, and then Ronin, of course. So yeah, it's. I'm sure this gets. It feels like this gets more hate than it deserves. So I just like I say it's conceivable that I could play this again because I want to play it again. There's just so much in this game to play. So I might be talking myself into playing this again pretty soon. So our next one in line here was the Mad Titan Shadow, which falls into it's not even if there's a fire. I despise this campaign so much. There's some good scenarios in it, but it feels there's nothing in me that makes me want to play the Galaxy's Most Wanted. Nothing. It's just like or what? Sorry. The Mad Titan Shadow. It is it's brutal. It's just not fun to me. I don't know why, but like the mechanics that they involved did not interest me at all. But the scenarios itself, I mean, Ebony Maw, I do enjoy. So that, like, I'll take that. There's these scenarios separately I want to play, but all together for one run, I just don't want part of it. And so I guess right if I was recommending boxes with this, you should definitely still get it. The scenario campaign itself, like playing through it, man, I just it doesn't keep my interest. But then the separate ones that we had, right? Ebony Maw, the tower defense is a fun one. Who we have next is then we have Thanos. Thanos is such a cool scenario, and then having the encounter set the encounter set of the Infinity Gauntlet is really fun to throw into games. And then right we have Hela, who like Hela, it's a scenario I want to play like on its own because you just take a run through it and it's really fun and really enjoyable. And then last one is Loki. We don't talk about Loki now. um, Loki's all right. Loki's just annoying to play. It's just like tedious. But yeah, so as I'm saying things out loud, I mean, not even if there was a fire. This is where I wanted to put this one, and with the caveat of like, hey, if you're like looking at this as a video to should I buy this, you should buy this. Because like the scenarios are fun. I wouldn't. I guess right. We're looking at a list. I would not buy this. Maybe it would be at the bottom, right? But that might just say I would buy all of these because there's so much good content. And then the box has Spectrum and Adam Warlock, which I'm just not a major fan of. So anyway, that's enough on the Mad Titan Shadow. It's looking at each individual scenario. They're good and they're fun, and I'm glad I have them. But this campaign I would not play, even if there was a fire. I just like to say that. I can't. I don't even want to think about it anymore. But our next one, Sinister Motives. Wow, it's amazing. So it's to me like I'll keep the Rise of Red Skull at the top as Holy Grail, but I'll put Sinister Motives and Gimme That. And by that, naming it just means give me this expansion. I will play it. It is, as far as like I could easily think about like maybe this one is more of my favorite over Rise of Red Skull, but Rise of Red Skull, like when it comes to playing a campaign, I can just pick up and play so easily. Whereas Sinister Motives, I have to like feel like I have to be in the mood, you know. I have to like want to really like, hey, this is gonna be a good time. I'm gonna sit down and play this, but it's gonna take a couple days probably, or just like take a lot out of me to because I love like if you give me the challenge of collecting and checking off all the things you have to do to go through the reputation track. Like the first time I played this, I think I ended up doing all of them because I think I started with the symbiote suit in the last scenario because I just got so addicted just trying to like to forming the decks in a way of where it's like, hey, I'm going to check off every box I need here. So anyway, Sinister Motives was really fun. So we start off with Sandman. Sandman, he's not my favorite just because I don't love churning out of the encounter set, but I need to play him a little more often. But then Venom, Venom's really fun too, and for me, it's just it's how all these scenarios work together and through that make the campaign something special for me. And so as we're going through that, we have Mysterio. Mysterio's fun as well. I'm just saying these things now. The Sinister Six is one of my favorite scenarios, honestly, of just how variable it can be and how much you're doing. And then Venom Goblin, which we've got the fortunate, because we've been fortunate enough to see like Web Warrior Fanatic show us how so efficiently and well to beat Venom Goblin that it's like doesn't feel as daunting anymore. But yeah, Sinister Motives is just like these are ones where yeah, I just had such a good time playing it, and when I'm reading it, I'm like, man, all these are have a lot of confusing mechanics and are like kind of difficult, but it's like just the culmination of it, and like I really enjoyed the reputation track of that one. It was great. And then so next we moved on to the X-Men series and whatnot. So Mutant Genesis here, um, coming in with the X-Men, I think they did such a perfect job, and this falls into the give me that category because this one I will honestly I don't know I might be able to put this one above Sinister Motives, but like we get Sabretooth that hops into Project Wide Awake, which is like a Project Wide Awake and Master Mold both are like those kind of scenarios that I love where you know you're gonna beat them. You know you're gonna find a way to win those scenarios most of the time and have fun doing it. Like it's just like right it's where the game it doesn't this game can get unnecessarily difficult with a lot of things, and I mean a lot of stuff in Sinister Motives does that, but I still love it. But Mutant Genesis, the Mansion Attack is a fun multi-villain, and then Magneto at the end here is just like Marvel Champions perfected. That the Magneto scenario is just so like wonderful. You know, it's just such a good, enjoyable play. So like, give me that. Give me this Mutant Genesis expansion. I'll gladly play it. Do I want to put it over Sinister Motives? Maybe. Like I'll put it over here now just because of Magneto, honestly. But as far as I don't know, I just had so much fun playing that Sinister Motives campaign for the first like 2 times or so. So it was just whatever. That one will stay ahead of it. But Mutant Genesis I'll pick up and play happily. And so our next two, we got Next Evolution here. And so this one, what do I want to do with this one? Next Evolution. I don't know. This one's kind of tough for me. Kind of not. As far as trying to think where to put this, because we have the Morlock Siege, which again, it's like it was fun, and again that point where it's like, hey, Marvel Champions doesn't have to be too hard. Like you can give us scenarios that are fun, but not crazy difficult. And I think they nailed that on the head too with the first 3 scenarios. Or first 2, right? The Morlock Siege and On the Run, and then Juggernaut. I mean, just being able to have Juggernaut to play is fun. I don't play him very often, but and he's a challenge, and he's a good time. Like you got to build your deck around it, kind of like look into it. So It's good. And then Mr. Sinister is a fun time. I enjoy like throwing on the random encounters, not encounters. That's the whatever. All the stuff on him that just changes his gameplay up. It's pretty cool. And then Strife is probably trying to think. Probably Strife's probably the most forgettable final villain of a pack, but I enjoyed playing him. I just like I'm like, meh, doesn't do it. But I think that last part enjoyed. And this is gonna fall under enjoyable for me. Of I like it. I'm glad I own it. I'm glad I have it. A lot of those things, I think I just need to give it another shot to go through. I enjoyed playing it. I should probably walk through it again. But yeah, there's that one. And then last but not least, we have Age of Apocalypse. And so this was the newest one, which means it's probably the one I've played the least. But let's see. As we're walking through it, yeah, Unis, he's fun. Four Horsemen, difficult and fun. Yeah, I'm just trying to think through this. We get Apocalypse, Dark Beast, and Apocalypse. This one I just genuinely need to give more time to soak in and play. Typically when I get these campaigns, I'll play through the campaign and then over time we'll see what else I play. But Age of Apocalypse, this is definitely going to go and enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I would play it again. So yeah, with that, that's my rankings of these. Let me know what you think. It'd be awesome to hear what like the community, other folks like kind of put these as with your thoughts, and like if you have any thoughts on, hey, you should definitely try this again, let me know what you think type of stuff. Just definitely leave a comment and let me know. But yeah, this is a fun time making my first tier list here. I would like to eventually, behind me here is my kind of wall of games, collections, a ton of Marvel stuff, a ton of things that like honestly a lot of it I haven't like played to, so I need to go through that and just like do that. But if you're interested in seeing like, hey, what does your game collection look like? Hoping to make a video of that eventually. That'd be cool, and then can trade off ideas of things with you guys. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's great talking to you. I will see you soon.